Hello everyone, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. My name is Victor, and I'll be your driver. Today I have a collection of customer submitted stories to share, so all aboard! It was the summer of 2012 in Newark, Delaware. In those days, I didn't have a computer, so I decided to go to the library. I told my mum and stepfather where I was going, and off I went. I was having a good day when I arrived at the crosswalks that was between the Toyota dealership, McDonald's, and the library. I waited my turn to walk across the street like I had done 1,000 times before, but then it happened. A woman driving a blue BMW ran a red light and hit me. I saw a white flash for a few seconds. When I could see color again, I was bruised like hell and my glasses were bent, but luckily I had no broken bones and was still alive, so I got up and jumped on the grass to safety. I still walked to the library, but the woman from the car wanted to see if I was okay. She told me she didn't see me because her boys were distracting her. Then a nice friendly cop stopped and checked to see if I was alright. He called for an ambulance and my mum. At first I was worried she'd be mad at me for something I didn't do, but she wasn't. She was relieved that I was okay. I explained what happened. When I arrived at the hospital, they double checked if I had any broken bones and if I had any cuts. Thankfully, I didn't, so I was cleared to go home and rested for a few days. A few weeks later, I was feeling better. I also felt good knowing that I was still alive and that God gave me a second chance. Yes, I still misbehave sometimes, but then again, everyone does. No one is perfect, especially people who don't pay attention to the road. What a nong! I'm just glad that light you saw didn't mean something else, if you catch my meaning. You must be made of steel to get smacked by a car and then stand right back up with nothing but some bruises. You're one tough nut. Good job on cheating death. So it's the year 2020 and I was in 6th grade. It was a regular day at school. I was going into the bathroom when suddenly I heard a bam against the bathroom door. Before continuing, I should clarify that there were a group of crazy teen boys who would goof around in the bathroom. I don't know why, they just did. I hear the bam again, and the next thing I know, the bathroom door that was originally locked flung open. I went to close the door without my pants on, and the teenagers saw this. They laughed and raced away. I was very embarrassed and pissed off at these assholes. I saw them over at the field and asked what the heck happened. I heard one of them mumble that they were going to kick my ass because I was small. This was where I really lost it. I yelled at them, and before walking away, I told them that I would shove my backpack up their backsides if they told anyone about the incident. The next thing I did is something my parents were proud of me for doing. I went to the office and told my dad. My principal heard this, and I told him what happened too. He then asked what the teens looked like. I didn't tell him about all of them, just a few. Once I showed him a couple of the teens' pictures, he planned a date to discuss the situation. Next week, both my parents and one of the teenagers' parents arrived at my principal's office for the meeting. The teenager and I shared our sides of the story. The teen apologized and asked if he wanted to be my friend afterwards. He sounded sincere and felt guilty, so I said yes. And while he would still goof around with his friends, at least he's learned never to do anything as stupid as that ever again. Good. That was a smart decision reporting it right away. It was also a nice touch letting them know beforehand you won't be intimidated. Well done. It was Halloween night of 2020 and my whole family was going to a party. This included my mum, her partner, my siblings and my oldest sister's boyfriend. Everyone was getting ready except me. I didn't want to go because I don't like Halloween parties, so I decided to stay. My mum said it was okay. When everyone got in their cars, my oldest sister and her boyfriend went in his car. I watched them from the window to see when everyone would leave. When they were gone, I sneaked into my mum's room to play video games on my laptop. My laptop was taken off me because I was caught having video games on it, even though video games are banned. Time passed and I had a great time, but what I didn't realize is that my younger sister had come home in my older sister's boyfriend's car early. I didn't realize this until they walked in and caught me in the act. Luckily, my parents weren't home. My heart stopped. I was sweating so much. I tried to come up with an excuse why I was on it, but they weren't buying it. My youngest sister wanted to tell on me because she's that type of person, but my older sister said, "Don't tell Mum, otherwise he'll be in really big trouble." I couldn't thank her enough, but it wasn't over. For the next few days, every time I did something to annoy my younger sister, she would threaten to tell my mum about what happened that night. 1 year later, and my younger sister had been banned from my parents' room because she would watch movies in there all the time. She had also done something naughty that I don't know of. All I heard was my mother yelling, "You are never to go into my room and watch movies. You are banned." A few days later, my parents and my older sister had gone to work. My two younger brothers, my younger sister and I were home with a babysitter. I had nothing to do, so I decided to go downstairs to my parents' room and watch a movie. That's when I saw my sister in there. She looked a little scared. I said, "Get out, you're banned from here." she decided to say back at me, "I don't care. Anyway, Mum's not home and I'm not banned." So I reminded her about the time Mum said she was banned. That made her jump off the bed and run out. By this time, everyone had forgotten about the laptop gaming incident, and every time she would annoy me, I would threaten to tell my parents about what she did. Now we're even. We both forgot about the situation and we don't use the threats anymore, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. I guess two wrongs can make a right. Who knew? My name is Ellie and I'm 27. When I was in school, I thought I liked girls, as in going through puberty, not that I wanted to be one. I didn't fully understand these feelings until college. One day when I was home and no one was about, I decided to try on some of my mum's clothes. I thought I looked amazing in them. I couldn't really do anything after that. I know for a fact if I came out to my parents around that time, my dad would have kicked me out. I did tell a few friends who kept it secret. I managed to find a nice job working in a restaurant where I met my current boyfriend. I told him when we went on a date. He had no problem and said he'd still love me. A couple months later, I moved into his flat and told everyone. As expected, my dad started in on me. My mum said she knew and my other family members said they'd support me. I'm currently living with my boyfriend and our best friend, who are amazing. As for the matter of the transition, well, I haven't had the operation yet, but I am on medication to help with it. Aside from my dad, all my family is fully supportive and I still keep in contact with them. Alright, OP, that's fantastic. Sounds like you've got a great support system, apart from your father, but he can get stuffed. You know, that talk about you trying on your mum's clothes reminds me of the time when I was a kid and I started prancing about in my mother's heels. When I say prancing about, I mean I just stood there. I couldn't actually walk in them. And for those of you wondering, yes, I did look magnificent. Anyway, we've come to the end of our journey. Thank you for traveling on the Reddit Railway, and we hope to see you again soon.